Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the Boston Red Sox traveling to Detroit to take on the Tigers here in the pre-1961 Apba Bats League. Leading off for the Boston Red Sox, playing third base, Jimmy Collins batting second, playing second, Pete Rowlands batting third, playing center field, Dom DiMaggio batting fourth, playing left field, Ted Williams batting fifth, playing right field, Jackie Jensen batting sixth, playing shortstop, Vern Stevens batting seventh, playing first base, Buck Freeman batting eighth, doing the catching, Sammy White, and batting ninth, doing the pitching, Smoking Joe Wood. And for the home team, Detroit Tigers, leading off playing left field, Todd Cobb, batting second, playing center field, Bobby Veck, batting third, playing right field, Al Kaline, batting fourth, playing first base, Hank Greenberg, batting fifth, playing second base, Charlie Gehringer, batting sixth, playing third base, Ray Boone, batting seventh, playing shortstop, Harvey Keene, and batting eighth, doing the catching, Johnny Blasser. And on the mound, batting ninth, is George Mullin. Let's get down here to Detroit and get this game started. And Jimmy Collins to lead it off here for Boston, batting .258, 3 homers and 6 RBIs. George Mullin making his fourth appearance. He's 2-0 with a 1.9 ERA. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Cobb makes the catch for out number one. And Bobby Veck now steps up to the plate. Jimmy Collins. And now it'll be Pete Rowlands stepping up to the plate. And Pete's batting 180. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. Here's the pitch to Pete. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. George has got it. Throws it over the Hank at first for out number two. So it's up to DiMaggio, the Dom. Dom DiMaggio batting $180. No homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. DiMaggio strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 top of the first. We got Cobb, Veck, and Kaline due up here for the Tigers. Cobb batting .358, 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be against the 26. That's going to be a ground ball down the Pete at second, over to Buck for out number one. And Veck's up now. Bobby batting .263, no homers and 3 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this. See where this ends up at in Detroit. And that ball is blasted into left field. And that's going to be a triple for Veck. So a 1-out triple. Bobby down at third. Kaline at the plate. And early in the game here, Boston will play back. They'll trade a run for an out here. Trying not to get a cricket number up there. Kaline batting .295, 5 homers and 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a 7. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. And that's going to score Bobby. And just like that, it's 1-0 Detroit. And Hank Greenberg up now. And Hank batting .203 with a homer and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second with a runner down at first. See if they can turn 2 here. 42 and a 7. Probably fielding column 2. Yep. 44 and a 7. That will be fielding column 2. And they'll get the Kaline out at second. And now you got Greenberg down at first and 2 outs for Charlie Gehringer. And Charlie batting .218, no homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a 26. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Ted Williams. That'll end the inning, but the triple comes around the score. Tigers 1, Boston nothing. You got Williams, Jensen, and Stevenson due up here. And Ted's batting .420 on the year, 7 homers and 20 RBIs. And he keeps that hitting pace up. That's going to be a base hit in the right field. Ted Williams is aboard here with nobody out. And Jackie Jensen now up to the plate. And Jensen's batting .207, 6 homers and 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Can Detroit go around the horn here? 31 and a 4. And that will be fielding column number 1. And that will be the old. That will be the old 5-4-3 double play. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on for Stevens. And Stevens is batting .300 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Vern. And that's going to be another ground ball. This one down to Harvey at short. And that'll end the inning. So the base hit gets erased by the double play. We go to the bottom of the second. It's still 1-0 Detroit. You got Boone, Keene, and Blasser due up here. Ray's batting .263, 6 homers and 19 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Pete. So he hits it down the second. Easy play for Pete. And he'll toss it over to first for out number 1. And that brings up Harvey now. And Harvey's batting .236, no homers and 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a rare play, a 66 on the 39. And that'll be hit out to left field. Williams is out there. And a 36 and a 2 should be fielding column 1. Sorry, fielding column 2 probably. Yep. Fielding column 2. That's going to be a single and the batter out trying for second. S runner holds it first. And he's not. So he's going to be out trying to stretch out into a double. Ted plays the ball nicely out there in left field and throws him out. So now you got 2 outs and Johnny Blasser up. And Blasser is batting .219 on the year. No homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Burns up with it. He tosses it over to Freeman for out number 3. So we go to the top of the third. Still 1-0 game. You got Freeman, White, and Wood due up here. Buck batting .114, 1 homer, and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Cobb's got it for out number 1. And now you got Sammy White up. Sammy's batting .085. He's got a homer and 1 RBI. And that's going to be another fly ball. This one's out to left field also. Cobb makes another catch for out number 2. And Smokey's up now. And Wood, he's batting $125, no homers and no RBIs. And that's a ground ball down to Charlie at second. That'll end the inning. 1-2-3 goes Boston. To the bottom of the third we go. Mullen due up, and then we got Cobb and Beck. George is 0 for 5 on the year. And that'll be a base on ball. It's not what you want to see if you're a Boston fan walking the opposing pitcher here. start off the third. Ty Cobb's up now. And Cobb grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to DiMaggio in center for out number 1. And Bobby Veck, who hit that triple and came around the score back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And that's going to be another 5-4-3 double play, folks. That'll end the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth, and we got top of the order due up here for Boston. Collins, Rollins, and DiMaggio. And Jimmy flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be another fly ball out to Cobb. So he's flown out to Cobb twice here today. Brings up Pete Rollins now, and Pete's 0 for 1. He grounded back to George's first time up. And that's going to be a rare play, a 44 and a 36. And that'll be hit down the shortstop. Harvey's down there today. And that's going to be a nice play by Harvey. He fires over to first. And now there's 2 down here. So it's going to be up to DiMaggio to get a 2-out rally started here. DiMaggio struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a 19. That's going to be a nice play. Comebacker. George has got it. He fires over the first. 1, 2, 3 goes to Red Sox. We got K-Line, Greenberg, and Gehringer due up. K-Line singled and drove in a run back in the first. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SMOKY strikes him out. That might be SMOKY's first strikeout. It is. Now you got Hank Greenberg up. He is grounded into a force play his first time up. And that's going to be a double in the right field. Sorry, that's going to be a double in the left field. So Hank's aboard here with a 1-out double for Charlie Gehringer. And Charlie is 0 for 1. He flew out to Williams his first time up. And that's going to be a base hit by Charlie. And K-Line will probably Greenberg will probably come around to score on this double, and he will. That is a double in the left field. So back-to-back doubles. And now it's a 2-0 ball game. Still a runner down at second and only 1 out. And Boone's up. He grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. 32 and a 7, fielding column 2. Yep, fielding column 2. And that's going to be popped up to third. And that'll be out number 2. And now Harvey's up. King singled his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to DiMaggio. That'll end the inning, but Detroit gets another run here. And it is now 2-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. And you got Williams, Jensen, and Stevens. Ted's got the only hit of the ball game back in the second for the Red Sox. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Greenberg at first for out number 1. See the team comparisons here. Boston 6-9. They have struck out 103 times, walked 85, hit 43 doubles, 4 triples. Detroit 10-6, struck out 82 times, walked 90, hit 34 doubles and 13 triples. Jensen's up. He grounded into the old 5-4-3 double play his first time up. And that'll be a 20. And that'll be a fly ball out to Veck in center for out number 2. So it's up to Vern here. Can Vern Stevens get something going? He grounded out to short his first time up. That'll be a fly ball out to Cobb. 1, 2, 3 again goes the Red Sox To the bottom of the fifth. In the bottom part of the order, Blaster, Mullen, and then back to Cobb. And Johnny's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short. And that's going to be another ground ball down to Vern at short. He fires across over to Buck for out number 1. And George is up. And he walked his first time up. Still looking for his first hit of the year. And that's going to be another base on balls. Smokey can't quite get his counterpart out now. See if it bites him in the butt this time. Last time it didn't. Let's see if it does this time. Got a runner down at first. 1 out. Cobb's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a 26 and a 9. And that's going to be popped up down the third. Collins makes the catch for out number 2. And it's up to Bobby. Bobby's tripled in this game back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Vern. He'll fire across the diamond for the final out. And the Tigers strand 1. We go to the top of the 6th. It's 2-0 Detroit. And you got Freeman, White, and Wood, the bottom part of the order, due up here for the Red Sox. And Buck's 0 for 1, flew out the left. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Freeman's aboard here with a leadoff single. That brings up Sammy White now. And that brings a tying run to the plate. Sammy's 0 for 1. He flew out the left. And that's going to be a 21, 20 rather, right? Yeah, 20. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. K-Line makes the catch. Now there's 1 down. They're going to let Smokey swing away here. Smokey grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a 20. And nice job. That's an infield hit by Smokey. Let him swing away, and he comes through. Now there's first and second. And only 1 out. Smokey gets a base hit here, folks. We're back to the top of the order, and Collins. Collins flown out twice to Cobb. And that's going to be a 39 catcher, a 51, and an 8. And that's going to be fielding column 1. Strike runner called off second if neither team leads by more than 5 runs. Yep, so he is called off second. Not a smart play out there by Freeman. So now you got a runner down at first and 2 outs. And Collins still at the plate. He's ready. And that's going to be a 20. That'll be a fly ball out the left field. And that'll end the inning. Cobb makes the catch. And it's still 2-0 Detroit. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. And we got K-Line, Greenberg, and Gehringer due up here. Al's 1 for 2. He had an RBI single back in the first. And that's going to be a base on balls. K-Line walks on down the first. And Hank Greenberg's 1 for 2. He doubled and came around to score in the 4th. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Jensen for out number 1. And Charlie Gehringer comes to the plate now, 1 for 2. He had an RBI double back in the 4th. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 46 and a 6 should be fielding column 1. And it is. And that's going to be another 5-4-3 double play. And that ends the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. It's still a 2-0 Tiger lead. You got Rollins due up here, followed by DiMaggio and Williams, 2, 3, 4 hitters. Let's see if they can finally crack through against George. Pete's 0 for 2, grounded out twice. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. And Blaster's going to come up with it. Throw down the first for out number 1. See if DiMaggio can get on board here. He struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be another ground ball. This one down the second. So now there's 2 outs and Ted Williams is at the plate. Williams is 1 for 2, singled back in the second. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And Cobb makes a nice play. And that'll be out number 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox. We make it to the 7th inning stretch. 2-0 Tigers. Boone, Keene, and Blaster due up here. Ray 0 for 2, grounded out and pops up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Boone walks on down to first. And Harvey steps to the plate. And Harvey's 1 for 2. He has singled and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And the runner will get down the second. Woods only plays over to first. No, sorry, that's a strikeout. Let's go back. That's a strikeout. Strikes him out. Runner stays down at first. And now Johnny's up. And Blaster is 0 for 2. Grounded out twice to short. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on him. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's going to be a tailor-made double play down the Vern. Up with it over the second. The old 6-4-3 double play. And that's the pitcher's best friend in this game. It's paying off. We go to the top of the 8th. We got Jensen, Stevens, and Freeman due up here against George. George is pitching a 3-hit shutout. And we got, let's see here. Give me a second here, folks. Sorry about this. So now Jackie's up. Here's the pitch to Jackie. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Jensen out. We're out number 1. You see Boston's upcoming schedule. They got one more game here in Detroit. Then they traveled to Baltimore to take on the Orioles for 2. Then it's out to Chicago. And Vern's 0 for 2. Can he get aboard here with nobody on here? And he does. He walks on down to first. And that brings up Buck Freeman now with a runner down at first and 1 out. And Buck's 1 for 2. He has flown out and singled. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Mullen. Sorry, that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that'll be out number 2. And that brings up Sammy White now. And Sammy's 0 for 2. He has flown out the left and right. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie. And that'll end the inning. The Red Sox strand 1. To the bottom of the 8th we go. You got Mullen, Cobb, and Vec due up here. George is walked both times up. And not this time. That's a fly ball out to Jensen. That'll be out number 1. Cobb's up now. Cobb's 0 for 3. Grounded out, popped up, and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Vern's up with it. He fires over to first for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And it's up to Vec, who's tripled back in the first, came around the score. And that's going to be another ground ball down to Vern, and that'll end the inning. We go to the top of the 9th. Red Sox need to get 2 to tie this up. They'll have a pitch hitter here for Wood. Then back to the top of the order. George pitching a shutout. See who's going to come off the bench here. It's probably going to be Johnny Pesky's going to come off the bench. Yeah, the Pesky's coming off the bench. Here's Johnny. And Johnny is batting 167 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. Can he get something started here in the top of the 9th? And nope, that's going to be a ground ball down to Harvey. He tosses it over to Hank. That'll be out number 1. Back to the top of the order we go. Jimmy Collins is up now. Need to get a runner on to bring the tying run to the plate. Collins 0 for 3 has flown out the Cobb all 3 times. Not this time. That's a base on balls. And that does bring the tying run to the plate and Pete Rollins. And let's see here. They're going to do a little hit and run, try to stay out of the double play to get DiMaggio up here. Pete's 0 for 3. He has grounded out all 3 times. And that's going to be an 18. So that ball is going to be hit down the short. Let's see here. Hit down the short, right? 18, yep. On a 64, that's probably going to be fielding column 3. Yep. Fielding column 3 on a hit and run on an 18. Out at first, runner to second. So they get the batter out, but the runner gets in the scoring position for DiMaggio. And Boston's down to their last out, runner down at second. Tying run at the plate. DiMaggio is struck out and grounded out twice. Can he keep this game alive, folks, for Boston? Nope. That's going to be a ground ball down to Harvey. He tosses it across the diamond, and that'll do it. And a 2-0 victory for the Tigers. Take a look here at the box score. And that's probably about the shutout. Yep, George's first shutout of the year. And the Tigers, 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Red Sox, no runs, 3 hits and no errors. And you had Williams, Freeman, and Wood with the only hits. They left 3 men on base. And nobody for the Tigers had more than 2 hits, but they were very effective with the runners in scoring position, 2 for 3. And left only 3 men on base. Wood gets the tough loss. He drops to 1-1. 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 4, struck out 2. George goes the distance, picks up his 3rd win. 3 hits, no runs, walked 2, and struck out 3. And let's go to the standings and the leaderboard here in the American League. Detroit now is a half a game up on the Yankees and Indians. White Sox 2 games back. Senators 3.5. A's 4. Red Sox now 4.5. Orioles 5 games back. Ted Williams is still leading the American League with a .415 batting average. Lou Gehrig with 10 home runs. Fox and Williams tied with 20 RBIs. And George Mullin, after that great performance, is now leading the American League with a 1.38 ERA. Ed Walsh with his 4 wins, leading the American League, and Joe Page with 5 saves. Got Lou Gehrig leading in MVP voting. Ed Walsh leading in the best pitcher category. I want to thank everybody for stopping by here, checking out this game. The next game on the channel is going to be the final game of this 2-game series. See who's going to be pitching here in Boston. You're going to have Dutch Leonard going up against Devon. So it should be another good pitching game. Until next time, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders, and on your way out of the stadium, hit that like button and leave a comment. Y'all have a great day and take care.